Just looking at pasta.
Why are you looking at pasta?
Because I can.
Because you can?
Because I'm gonna eat it.
You're gonna eat it? What you gonna do that for? On your low carb diet? Jimmy.
Yeah.
You gonna eat it? Jimmy.
Pasta.
What you think about pasta for?
Pasta. Gotta have pasta.
You don't want to eat it like that.
You know, you're probably right. Hey, and welcome back to Livin La Vida Low-Carb on YouTube, episode 14. And today we're going to talk about, no, not pasta necessarily, but we're going to talk about foods that you probably shouldn't have when you're on a low-carb diet. And one of them is definitely pasta. And one of the questions I'm popularly asked by people is, do you ever cheat? I hate that question because, number one, the word cheat connotates something bad. In other words, they want to know, do you eat something you're not supposed to eat? And really, there's no food that you're not supposed to eat per se. I mean, you can eat anything you want. And certainly keep the carbohydrates within reason for your low-carb lifestyle. The question becomes, do you eat more than you should? As far as those kinds of carbohydrates that you can tolerate. For me personally, I can't tolerate very many carbohydrates at all. Even a little bit of this stuff would ruin my weight control efforts. Now this one over here, she can get away with eating a whole plate of rice. Not sure how good it is for her health, but certainly for her weight, it's not really bad for her in causing it to go way up. You just amaze me that way.
You just gained 5 pounds looking
Yeah,
at that.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. This weighs about 50. But yeah, so the question becomes, okay, I'm on a low carb diet. I'm not allowed to cheat. Again, I hate that word. What do I do? How do I get past all these cravings for pasta and rice and potatoes and desserts that are sugary and all these things? And I implemented a strategy that I talked about in my book Livin La Vida Low-Carb, My Journey from Flabby Fat to Sensationally Skinny in 1 year. It's on Amazon.com and also available at my website, LLVLC.com. And what I put in there was a strategy that I've not seen anywhere else. I've not seen anybody talk about it in their books. I have seen it since I've started talking about it on several other websites, and certainly it is a controversial thing, but I think it will benefit some of you who are struggling with all those cravings. Now, when I started my weight loss journey in 2004, January 2004, I weighed 410 pounds and was a sugar addict. I mean, I could eat, breathe anything that was sugary. And I was also a pretty bad carbohydrate addict. I mean, I could probably down a whole plate of pasta in one sitting, and did.
And then you go back for seconds.
And thirds and fourths, and yeah. So what I decided to do when I started Livin La Vida Low-Carb was I would commit to the low-carb lifestyle. Absolutely 100% committed to it, would not stray from the diet at all. Until, dun dun dun, until every 6 to 8 weeks I allowed not one weekend, not one day, one meal, one meal, where I allowed myself to eat whatever I want, however much I wanted, of anything. And boy, did I take advantage of that.
He did.
Tell them a little bit about the pizza story, where I went out and it was about halfway on my low-carb lifestyle. I'd already lost about 100 pounds. What did I do at Pizza Inn?
Let me just tell you, he can down some pizza. He downed about, what, 30 pieces of pizza?
30 slices of Pizza Inn pizza.
And that's not even counting the desserts either.
Yeah, I had a few desserts that night. It certainly is not recommended for people who don't have any kind of control. If you feel like a little bit's going to make you eat a whole lot, you probably don't need to do the planned splurge strategy. That's what I call it, planned splurge. Some people like to call it controlled cheating, but again, I hate that word cheating. But the planned splurge strategy, and it worked. It was amazing how well it worked. I was just, every 6 to 8 weeks, I could mark it on my calendar. June 27th for dinner that day. We're going to go out and I'm going to eat whatever I want. We would usually go out to a restaurant, eat whatever I want of any high carb stuff I wanted. And it's amazing the accountability that gave me. Because what happened was I would stick to the low carb lifestyle. I would get through those 6 to 8 weeks knowing that I had something coming as a reward. Now, again, some people poo-poo that you have food as a reward, but when you're 410 pounds and you really just want to find something that's going to work, that's what worked for me.
I think when you first start out, some people need that.
Oh, absolutely. And again, if you are susceptible to having one meal like that turn into 10,000 meals like that, you probably don't need to implement this strategy. But if you're able to eat that one meal, and again, it's one meal, not a weekend, not a day, one meal, okay? If you're able to eat that one meal and get right back on plan, generally what happened when I did that strategy back in 2004 was it would take me about 3 or 4 days to get back into ketosis again, to start losing weight again. But I did start losing weight again because I got right back on it. The motivation was I've always got every 6 to 8 weeks something to look forward to keep me going and keep me going and keep me exercising and keep me eating my low carbohydrates and eating correctly until I get to that next planned splurge meal.
Now, don't get it wrong. It's not that he didn't enjoy the low carb foods. It's just that he was such a carbohydrate addict and sugar addict that he needed those splurges to kind of wean himself, I guess, off.
I did, and what's been amazing as I've lived this journey now for almost 4 years is, although I needed it early on, the longer I've been living La Vida Low-Carb, the less I've needed to do a planned splurge. In fact, 2004, I did about 5 or 6 planned splurges. About every 6 to 8 weeks I did the planned splurge. In 2005 I ate about 3 or 4. Last year and this year, 0. I don't need them anymore. There are alternatives to just about anything you could possibly want, and I do find so much, like you were saying, so much joy and enjoyment out of the foods that I do eat on my low carb lifestyle now. So definitely, if you're struggling with the cravings, if you want something that might motivate you, a planned splurge strategy may be just what you need. Again, it's controversial. Not everybody agrees that it's the best way because some people say a little bit of something that you can't have or shouldn't have is the kiss of death for your diet. But I disagree with that only because my own experience and success with it shows that it can be a viable option for those of you who struggle. So that's all the time we have now for Livin La Vida Low-Carb on YouTube, episode 14. And you got anything else you want to say today?
Just a quick thank you for those who have wished me a happy birthday. Thank you.
Yeah, she's a sweetie.
Aww.
Well, that's all for now, and hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. We may get one more in before Thanksgiving, but if not, see ya!
Bye.